By no means is it a perfect PL game.
No.
Like, once he doppels, if they surround him with Arena, he's dead.
Yeah.
So, I do like... We're getting the exact dynamic you talked about, Sheep. Where, like, they're going to be paced on EG, running at them. Yeah. Talon's going to be trying to buy out time.
Yeah, I'm hyped about
You nailed it, own it.
Let's go. As long as Whisper gets a good lane. I don't want to see a Maz that falls behind in farm. I want to see him get good blink dagger time and really go for it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's see it. Let's see it happen. It's time for game number 1 of Evil Geniuses versus Talon with Sunsfan and Cinderin.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Thank you very much. EG versus Talon. Sunsfan here with Cinderin. And yeah, I'm looking at both these lineups, Cinderman. EG have some fatty McFatties. There's 4 out of the 5 heroes are mega tank. Talon, kind of the opposite. Bunch of agility heroes.
Yeah, who
and
plays
intelligence
that?
heroes.
Where are they? I mean, they do have 2 universal heroes.
And to be fair, universal
Wait, do
as
EG
well.
have 0?
What
a draft!
That's right.
0 universal heroes.
What's the win rate on 0 universal heroes?
Wow, that is refreshing. It's hard not to cheer for that lineup. Think about that. That's crazy.
You're a real hater.
It's okay. Yeah, we'll get there. I want to highlight something about Talon's draft first and foremost. Pango offlane is not something a lot of teams are running anymore, but it's going to be interesting to see Jabs in this game running this offlane Pango. Like, most of the time when we've seen it, it's been run in the mid lane recently. It used to be offlane for quite a while, but then its laning got nerfed in that aspect, and it was moved more toward that mid role. Part of the reason this hero isn't seen that commonly as an offlaner is it generally doesn't exert a lot of pressure, and it's really level dependent, and you get neither truly from the offlane. So I'm curious to see Jabs, how much he can bring to the table here. At the very least for him, I guess the Medusa matchup is pretty straightforward for Pango. He's not going to get very pressured from the side of EG. And, I mean, overall, what can I say? This is refreshing to see these picks, right? This is a lot of heroes that we haven't really seen much.
For sure.
Can't believe I think it's exciting to see PL, but here we are.
True. I mean, it's
Lion, love Lion.
It's all about variety, you know? That's all we want in life is variety.
Yeah.
And it's been a universal patch, which is ironic because it really hasn't. It's been literally universal heroes in terms of the attribute.
Yeah.
Not the true meaning.
True that. Yeah, this should be an interesting top lane to watch. Lion is a very frail hero, but he has offensive play potential with heroes such as Mars once you get a couple of levels. Mars Lion as a lane isn't particularly high up there, but at the very least they're laning against Phantom Lancers, so that's not the kind of lane that will put massive amounts of pressure. Pugna is a little bit tricky though to deal with as Lion. He just trades better than you, but Mars can definitely swing the balance there. And PL is the hero for Talon to keep an eye out to give a good game here. If 23 struggles, I think their strategy is very likely to fall apart, because as much as the other heroes like to fight, as you said, EG's lineup is kind of a brick wall. So
they sure are.
I don't think the rest of their heroes have enough damage once Underlord gets a pipe.
There is also the... I assume it's still a bug, Cinder. Do you know what I'm talking about before I even say it?
Arena versus Pango.
Yes. Do you know if that's been hot fixed? If anybody knows if this is technically a bug, is Ollie is going to get first blooded by Whisper, and actually is going to get the successful spear onto 23 Savage as well. And here comes the tentacle surprise onto 23 Savage. Fairy Fire is going to keep Matthew alive a little bit longer, but 23 Savage will fall as well. Double kill for Whisper. That is a dream start for any Mars offlane, or any offlane in general. For
Mars is so good when he gets a head start, so this is huge. This hero doesn't tend to win lanes significantly, but when he does, against a hero like PL, who's very much a slow build-up hero, this is good news for EG fans out there. Also, Whisper. I feel like if you could pick any hero or any player on EG's lineup and you want to give them the dream start, I actually think I would pick Whisper, despite, you know, Pakaz is getting a lot of the credit for this team. He's obviously an outstanding carry player, but Whisper a lot of the time dictates the pace of the game. So when he gets this kind of a start on Mars, you know it's going to pay dividends down the stretch. and make that space for Pakaz's Medusa this game to get nice and fat. So yeah, the bug about Pango versus Mars was, for all of Pango's history, when you're rolling up, you can, or not rolling up, when you're using Rolling Thunder, you can go through magic immunity, and you can also go through the arena wall. But in this patch, for some reason, the arena wall is counted as debris for the Rolling Thunder, so you actually bounce off the wall.
No, you actually do not bounce. You get stuck in the wall.
You get stuck in it.
Yes.
From either side.
This is from me playing it.
100% a bug.
This is from me playing it 2 weeks ago, and I can't speak 100% whether that's still the interaction now.
I thought there's bounce.
There definitely has not been any notes about it.
Okay, because if you bounce, I mean, you could say it's a change, because technically it is debris, right? He makes like terrain in a way. Yeah. You could like argue for that, but if you get stuck in it, it makes no sense. So we'll see if that's a deliberate part of the counter pick. I think Mars has other merit in this game. The hero's really good together with Medusa. You encase people so they can't get away from her. She just gets to stand and deliver. He has a pretty good matchup against the Phantom Lancer. But yeah, it might have been an X factor in deciding this pick for EG, of course, and you would imagine the teams are aware. So if it's common knowledge, then can't really blame them for taking advantage of it.
And I mean, I feel like that's been the only time.
Nice deny there. That was beautiful.
I feel like the only time I've seen Mars in this patch actually has been against Pango, specifically because of that quote-unquote bug.
Yeah. I mean, if it works the way you say, it's not quote-unquote, and it's absolute. That is not.
You never know with these patches. Jabs gets off the swashbuckle, which was just nerfed. We'll talk about it in just a moment. One more decay will do it. Panda's going to pop his mango and take him home. The swashbuckle, let's talk about that, because that seemed like the biggest nerf for him. So the dash range has been reduced by 150 at level 1.
Holy.
It ends up being the same when you level up to level 4.
Yeah.
But 150 at level 1 is pretty drastic.
And keep in mind, a lot of the time Pangos will max shield crash first, right? So that means you're gimped for a long time.
And look at this. Domination in 2 lanes now for EG. 4-0 advantage. And then how's the mid lane faring? C-Smile is 24-10, Mikoto 24-3, so the CS technically in favor of C-Smile.
This nerf is actually massive for offlane Pango as well, which we didn't really talk about that, right? With the fact that with the nerfs when you play offlane, a lot of what Pango used to be able to do in the offlane was escape trouble, right? It's like, okay, I'm getting gone on, I can at least swash away and reset if I haven't used it for CSing. But with that distance being 400, and the fact that you need to finish the animation, so sure, you're jumping 400, but you're not creating a 400 gap, because you're quote-unquote stunned when you arrive until all slashes come out. So how much distance are you really creating between yourself and a chasing range carry? Like maybe 200? It's not great. So that might really come into play. I actually think this time that Jabs died to the Undying, he might have lived.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very baby swashbuckle.
Yeah, it would have been close to being away from that decay with another 150, so maybe already seeing it come into play there. C-Smile will not be getting this rune. Talon are covering that very nicely, so Mikoto will grab himself an Invis. Not doing too poorly in that mid lane. I would say this is an Underlord favorite matchup. He beats most melee heroes. You just put down Firestorm, you get more damage than the enemy heroes with Atrophy Aura, and you just get those denies. The big win.
Matthew, Blood Grenade and Spear and Life, but here comes the arena from Whisper. You can see TP supports are coming. Matthew looks to be fine, actually.
Oh, Swashbuckle hit the wall.
Spirit Lines actually will connect again as Matthew being pursued by the PL. Whisper finds the kill onto Ollie as Matthew he actually wanted to go back in. Yeah, he's trying to bait with this Lotus. Panda. Oh, did he miss the Swashbuckle? Jabs not doing that much damage now. Kind of a segregated fight overall. Whisper dodging another nuke here.
Oh, Jabs
gonna get the spirit, or spear, I should say, into the nuke.
Like a fool.
And Whisper is just
I do not want to play Pango anymore in this game now. I don't mean in Dota in general, but if I'm the Pango, this is really brutal. You just TP top to help. You died, got no kills, and now you have to walk back to bottom to meet a level 6 Medusa who has treads, and you have a bracer. This is not going to be a particularly fun time.
Yeah, and I think
for the Musketeer.
Of the 4 games so far that we've seen today, that we've cast, this will be the 3rd game where one team has a severe advantage in the laning stage.
Yes, it's definitely been...
But of those games so far, the previous 2, the other team actually came back to a degree that made it interesting, but never overcame it for Gaming Gladiators.
Right.
So we'll see if this.
And well, in the case of
Bet
Boom, they never came back. They just got stomped.
Yeah, that was the one.
That's just an absolute beat.
Oh, I guess all 4 games then, yeah. All right, Panda taken
First
out.
kill on the board for Talon. And we'll find a Aether into Blast-Off combo on the 5 Undying mid, so a little bit of something. But the writing on the wall right now is with how these lanes have gone, Pakaz should have free reign of the map. Whisper is going to be able to make a lot of plays with his Mars. We're looking at probably a 10-minute dagger at this rate. Lion, who's generally a weak laner, is off to a pretty good start with 0-3. He finds some levels here and there. He can also be a part of it. And obviously, let's not forget the X Factor of Fiend's Gate. That is going to come into play. When this Mars and Lion look for plays around the map, they can always count on a +1.
Yeah, Pakaz.
Yeah, I mean, the panel was talking about Pango as a possible solution to Medusa. I don't see Jabs getting a defusal at any reasonable time this game.
And look at this juicy stack for C-Smile.
Very nice.
He's got Atos on the menu.
I think what Talon have to do is get Pugna up to level 5 and start blasting bottom tower, open up the map a little bit. Pango now with his level 6 can potentially look to team up with Mikoto. But the challenge here is, who do you kill? I think Medusa is a very tough kill. I think Underlord's a very tough kill. I think Mars of the 3 is probably the most feasible one, but even he is starting to look dangerous. So
he's the one that's most farmed in the game now.
You got to be really wise about how you make your moves here, and you got to make them count for Talon. If you make a couple of failed ganks, you really run out of steam. It's nice to see Ollie doing that bottom push here, opting for that. It's the best aggressive play he has access to right now. He's going to keep that up.
Mikoto, he's in a bit of trouble.
He's in a lot of trouble.
Well, he does get the pulse off and the
close call.
The astral step. So we'll be fine. Pauses the game. That's why he got stunned.
He got away so fast, he broke the sound barrier. That was a really, really quick astral step.
Yeah, but Talon have a lot of work cut out for them this game. Down 3K already.
Yeah, Whisper reported
minute mark
down here, but he can't defend this. So this is some good news for Talon, that the Mars rotation will not bear fruit, because sure, maybe he wants to transition down here anyway to give the top half to Medusa, but it never feels nice to TP down to a broken tower.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Maybe Whisper was hoping they could set something up, but his teammates weren't really ready. C-Smile doesn't have ult skilled yet. Resources on the supports might not have quite been there with TP cooldowns and other things. So let it go. Dagger coming up in 100 gold for Whisper. So yeah, that 10-minute mark pretty much spot on. Very, very good timing for the offlane Mars. Let's see what they want to do with it. I'd imagine Whisper wants to take some initiative at trying to find the PL as well as the Void Spirit. I feel like targeting Pango is probably going to be largely a waste of time. I actually don't think you need to be very concerned with that hero in the game already after his 2 deaths.
And how many stacks has C-Smile taken? Gracious.
It's been pretty effective.
Everywhere he goes, there's a stack for him.
Opting to not skill the ult still. Yeah. Whoa. That's wild.
0 stacks, huh?
They've stacked 16 camps.
Look at it.
In 10 minutes?
Another ancient stack. I think C-Smile took this. Maybe he didn't take this one earlier.
This is what Kezu would refer to as a based cigar right there.
But how does Talon not stacked once? I mean, they don't have the normal stack taking hero, I guess, but normally you still see people stack regardless.
I mean, they've had enough to do with just putting out fires around the map, right? Maybe the supports haven't felt like they had the time for it. You're absolutely right. Like, it's not exactly appealing for their heroes. Maybe their concern even is, I don't know if they've thought this far, but just be like, let's not stack because they're going to get stolen.
Yeah.
Like the enemy team is really good at farming your stacks too.
But then if you're taking that into account, you'd think that they would have warded for these other stacks and maybe try to contest at some point, but maybe they just don't feel comfortable fighting yet.
I mean, maybe they could have got in and sentry blocked. I think their lineup, in essence, could not have contested this at all if EG are ready. Like, they're just too far behind from the laning stage to really stop EG from doing what they want to do. So I don't really mind them not contesting the enemy stacks, but it is alarming the amount of gold that EG have got out of the jungle so far. It's definitely accounting for more than 1,000 of the lead.
Look at this, though.
Despite
Talon,
having
8 bounties and they're still losing. Ollie bursted. Woo! Hey, that's stack number 1 for Matthew.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
One of many.
We've talked about this before, about spells that are satisfying to cast in Dota. Finger has to be top 5. It's just so
top
satisfying.
5.
So your number 1 is Axe Ult.
Yeah, easily.
And that's definitely top 3 for me as well. Might be number 1 as well.
One of my top 5 probably isn't in anybody else's top 5. That's Double Edge. That's so satisfying.
Yeah, that's also a pretty satisfying spell.
Very good.
But Finger of Death has to be top 3.
Yeah, sure.
Actually.
Well, then Laguna is exactly the same, right?
Not quite.
Oh, Whisper.
Okay.
Okay, Sticky Bomb connects. Blast off to follow. He does have his arena available, which he could use against Jabs. We talked about the interaction earlier. And oh, he goes through now. All right. Bomb has been fixed. Clappity clap. Whisper taken out by the swashbuckle. C-Smile makes his appearance here. And the Decay will finish him off, so
Thanks,
ends up being a 1 for 2.
It's like a hasted Underlord. Panda just shows up and casts 1 spell. Yoink. Oh.
Okay, I feel I can play Pango again. Thank God for that. Thank Gaben.
Maybe it wasn't, because there was like, it was a two-way, or a two, I can't find the word for this. There were 2 patches. There was the one that's in the client, and then there was the one that's the patch notes on Steam.
Yeah, the Steam.
And I think that Steam notes might have had the Pango fix, potentially, if you haven't seen that.
Potentially.
Because if you only read the official one in-game, there was some extra stuff. I know that. That might have been one of them.
Yep.
All right. Instant Hex. Well, they're not going to turn it into anything by the looks of it. I mean, no.
Spear does hit.
Give him a little
Smiles
yawn.
there as well. And should mention this Underlord, I mean, against all 3 cores of Talon, the pit is insane against Pango, Void Spear, and PL.
And so is the Atos. I really like C-Smile's choice to get it here. There's so much value in getting that chain, so I believe you need level 4 pit for this to be guaranteed, but what you can do with... The reason this item is good on Underlord is that you Pit of Malice, when the pit's about to expire, you Atos, and then when the Atos is about to expire, the pit kicks in again. I think you need level 4 pit, maybe it's enough with level 3, but that combo is effectively going to be like a 6-second route on either Pango, Void Spirit, or PL, unless they start getting some status assist.
Well, Pango, if he gets shard, I believe he can...
Pango can handle it.
Roll up and then ult.
Yes. But
And then Manta
Spirit,
will be needed for PL.
Void Spirits don't really buy Kaya Sanj right now.
They do go Manta though.
Yeah, that's true.
Spear.
Manta. All right.
And this is a freebie onto the Putna, so
Got the tower as well.
Arena used for support, but pretty low cooldown. They're going to continue on here. We talked about this strategy being very ball-up heavy. Find a connection on the corner. He gets blasted into oblivion. Matthew, second stack of the game.
So clean.
Jabs does have Diffusal, so Pakaz does have to be a bit careful, but he is still the most farmed hero on the map.
He got it faster than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's top net worth. What? How's Pango the richest on his team?
I mean, I don't know if that's a good sign.
No, I was going to say, that's really bad news, but how? How does Jabs have more net worth than the other heroes? Like, that is, oof. I thought Void Spirit was still going to be at least ahead of the other 2 that had a rough start, but I guess with that death he just had, got overtaken by Jabs. The Talon are going to try to make a move here toward bottom and catch this Mars. This could be successful if they land an opening there. They will.
Cancel the Blink Dagger, and he can blink.
Not work whatsoever, actually. No follow through.
He will have Arena in 15 seconds. We'll see if EG want to get aggressive again with that. Always nice to have like these ults on your offlaners that don't necessarily have the longest of cooldowns. All right, another stack here.
This is definitely well choreographed. They've played this strat before with the Underlord mid.
That is,
we know they have.
Bill 0 on the side.
Yeah.
Or
such a weird stat.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Stealing it. That's some nice.
Okay.
Oh
my. Juicy. Whew. For Q.
Named after his Sticky Bomb hotkey. Actually, his nickname. Used it there.
Are you sure he doesn't use Legacy?
No.
Okay.
Thank you for your comments.
What was Omni Slash in Dota? Was it M or O?
N.
N. That's right.
The original hotkey for Omni Slash was N.
God, I hated that.
The reason was it couldn't be M because that was move.
Right.
It couldn't be O because that was
the patrol?
No, that was P. What was O? Shit. That was a hotkey as well. So O was taken, M was taken for move, and then N was next, I think, in the spell name.
Yeah,
I think that's how it was.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Very useful.
People started using third-party software relatively early to rebind their hotkeys because Dota 1's hotkey layout was quite something. And ultimately, it did get changed. If you use Legacy in Dota 2, Omnislash is not N.
What is it then?
I don't remember, but it's definitely not N. I'll tell you that.
Okay, that's good to know.
The one legacy hotkey I definitely know for a fact is Fade Bolt is X. I've told you this story before.
Okay.
Because when I was playing with Yapzor, he would always say, I'm Xing them when he went to KS.
That's right.
When he would KS with Fade Bolt on Rubik.
X isn't too bad, though.
Oh, it's a good hotkey.
Yeah, that's
fine.
not bad.
I use it for my inventory.
Now, EG, only, I mean, I say only, it's 6K lead, but it hasn't really grown. So, Talon still not anywhere near the top net worth in terms of just the cores, but they are keeping the lead the same, if that makes sense, or the deficit hasn't grown at all.
Yeah.
So that's something.
It's definitely flattened out a little bit.
But it's going to get harder and harder to kill this Medusa, as we're going to see the Flesh Golem pop to help take out Roche, and I doubt Talon will be able to contest this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Although, we do have
top tower is under
some heroes close to the gate, but I don't think they're going to
middle tower is under attack.
try to contest this. A little too dangerous, probably.
Quite a slow kill, but Talon don't know. They pinged it now, I think. They're like, nobody's on the map.
Yeah.
They're being effectively, I guess gifted is the wrong word, but considered nobody's defending mid-tower, they kind of make the come to the conclusion that Roche must be happening.
Under attack.
They're putting the Aegis on Pakaz. I thought maybe this was going to go on C-Smile, actually. I feel like Medusa, maybe they're concerned with the double diffusal on the horizon, right? They know there's one on Pango. They know PL must be getting one as well at some point. Has the Aegis, or sorry, the Axe for now.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Time to ball down top. Are they just going to go the whole... Oh, wait, he has butter.
He does have butterfly.
They genuinely might just go high ground with this. This is a very early butterfly. And they have the shard on Lion, so he'll be able to mana drain away some of PL's illusions.
That will be very useful.
Top tower has fallen.
And yeah, I don't see EG stopping while the Aegis is still in Pakaz's inventory. Also has a Lotus Flower in his inventory. Gonna try to take out this Nether Ward, but it is decrepit for the time being. Swashbuckle starting to come out. Blast off from Q, he gets forced that back. Jabs actually does use his ult. Has the Aghanim Scepter, so the shield crack will proc. And there's the arena. Oh, very nice arena on basically the entirety of Talon. Astro Step to get away, though, so they do find their distance, and the only casualty is the techies. Pakaz now completely out of mana, not wanting to use this Aegis quite yet. So EG likely will be reset, so a successful defense from Talon. Although they could just Fiend's Gate back and forth from the fountain and just try again.
Looks to be the idea.
Now, what a cool ult this is.
Yeah. What a great idea.
Yeah, great idea. Whoever thought of this idea deserves a raise. How much did you get for that idea again?
Free of charge.
Okay.
I don't think I suggested it exactly in its form, though. I can't take full credit for it being a 20-second two-way gate. Actually, I don't even remember.
They probably just made up the whole thing anyway. Knowing you, narcissist.
I didn't even come up with it to any extent. To be fair, though, I've been told it was actually an old idea, and there might have been a different version of this gate at some point in Dota's history, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, it sounds like you to recycle old ideas.
Yeah, I never have an original thought.
It's understandable. You were coded after all.
Yeah,
so.
That's true.
Tier 2 tower now
I
falling.
scraped the Play Dota forums, and then I came up with an idea.
Yeah, a lot of great ideas on that forum.
There's the diffusal.
Yeah, a little bit slower, but he did get the Ags first.
He went Ags first, so this is obviously going to be very, very far off the average timing, because most PLs get that first. The diffusal, that is.
Dire are scanning.
So his Ags, of course, is the Spirit Lance bouncing, which used to be his shard, but kind of an upgraded version of it.
I'm curious to see if this game is going to reach a state, like, depending on how late it goes. If Lion gets level 15, we might see something we rarely see with this hero. He might take the Mana Drain Talon and just siphon mana into Medusa. It's actually a pretty cool combination of heroes.
Oh, Makoto pops that shield room. He finds Whisper. Here comes the hit of Malice, though. Jabs with the Rolling Thunder coming through. Not really going to find any connections, though. Looks like Panda will be a sacrifice for EG, but the arena coming in from Whisper, only on the Pugna again. As Makoto's able to Astral Step to safety. With the Aegis on their side for EG. What's that?
It's just acting when C-Smile had Atos ready, but it didn't matter. They couldn't chase that one down. But yeah, this Lion level 15 talent is pretty interesting. I actually don't know how this interacts with the Shard. So the talent you can take on 15 on Lion is Mana Drain restores allies. So you can drain into allies, losing mana yourself and giving them mana, which is obviously very strong in Medusa. The EHP from this is crazy. But if you have Shard, I don't know if you drain into Medusa and then also hit enemies at the same time.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out if he ever gets to level 15.
Also took a very unusual level 10 talent. Is that a mistake? I feel like this talent is just...
Mana drain slow. Huh.
I don't know. I always, whenever I read that talent, I was like, that sounds incredibly underwhelming compared to Earth Spike damage. Because this is like also your wave clear, farming spell, you know. But maybe Matthew...
So, Talon are about to hit a bit of a power spike. I mean, the Aegis is being consumed in 40 seconds. Jabs, he's had the Aghanim Scepter for quite a while, but he just hit 15, so finally gets the talent that makes the Ags actually good, and now he's about to pick up a Blink Dagger. So, his impact on these fights is going to be much more impactful. I'd say impact twice in the same sentence, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Good one.
His impact is going to be very impactful.
Talk about impact.
Manta now online for Makoto. So another way to dispel the Pit of Malice, but of course, like you said, there's going to be multiple ways to root, but he will at least have time to dodge the Atos. So they definitely have some tools. I mean, Peel on the other hand, I assume, yeah, Manta's going to be next for him, but that's kind of far away at this point.
Yeah. Still, as you pointed out earlier, the gold lead hasn't really gone up for EG in the last 10 minutes. It seems like... Didn't they also have 5k at minute 14? I think so.
It's
around there.
It's been a while around this net worth.
There's a big item coming out now, though. Medusa with the full completed BKB. So Pakaz can definitely stand his ground here, and he's buying this as a means of protection against this just flat-out chain stunning that Pango can provide, along with techies, all the damage from the mines, with the Veil.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He is a possible kill if they line up everything really cleanly, I suppose, but it's very hard, and obviously EG have counterplays, so they might just not really decide to take this fight. Full damage in the river, nobody knows yet.
Yeah,
Kaz is just going to keep strolling up.
I think both teams know generally where each other are. Whisper's going to get initiated on for the time being. Tombstone on the high ground. Atos immediately dispelled, but there's the arena with the spear to follow. And more roots to come. No way to dispel it. Finger of death onto Makoto. He's dead. 23 Savage still stuck inside the arena, and he falls as well. So 2 cores dead pretty much right off the bat as BKBs galore pop by EG. No way for Talon to fight back now as Ollie takes the tumble. 3 dead with nothing done to EG, essentially.
Such a clean... I want to replay that. There's something so satisfying about watching a Mars combo where the spear is cast first. Like, he just blinks on top, spears, instantly forms the arena, and gets that pin right away. There was no way to react there once that blink came out. So look at this beauty here. Boom! So clean onto the Void Spirit. Just inhuman to react to that. You just can't. Even if you could, the cast time is too long. It's actually just flat out impossible. So Whisper with a huge play there.
Only downside for EG is it's early enough that Talon will respawn very quickly, thus be able to defend.
Unfortunately, just 4k get net worth gained. Probably not happy with that. Very unlucky indeed.
That does seem a little low, actually.
They got 2 core kills. How much gold do you want them to get?
Yeah, more than that.
Good Whisper there.
Well, I guess part of it is because they tried to go high ground. They didn't really end up farming while they were dead. So usually the lead grows a little bit more than that.
Yeah, it's 6k. They went from 5 to 11.
Okay.
And yeah, you saw the damage breakdown just then. Whisper absolutely crushing it with that early advantage. We talked about it. When you give this guy a good head start on EG, he's gonna make it worth your while.
What a bounty!
He's been making some really cool Mars plays this game. It's also... This hero is just really satisfying to watch. I think it has had its time, right, where it was like first phased or first picked. I don't know about you, but I never really got fatigue with this hero compared to other...
No, I agree.
Oh, I watched this for the 1000th time or played against it for the 1000th time. Mars, there's just something beauty in the simplicity and the impact, the way it all plays out. This hero just doesn't get boring to me to watch. So...
Yep, I agree.
it's cool to see it having a good game here.
Amar basically got it nerfed originally, right?
He's also, his playstyle on it was also very unique.
It was.
Most people were playing Mars as like a teamfight initiator with Refresher, and Amar was just like, what if I just go Ags Daedalus? And I just walk into people.
Yeah, the soldiers, man. Yeah. I love that.
He had some ridiculous games with that. It's very fun to watch. And just to echo the thing BSJ was talking about, like, the thing that makes these new cool builds is that somebody gets the idea, tries it, gets flamed in a pub, and is then just like, I don't care. I thought it was good, so I'll do it again. Yeah. Nobody was buying Ags on Mars.
Well, Thompson got flamed how many times before he won TI for buying Diffusal on these random-ass heroes?
Yeah.
Look at him now.
Yep.
Still will always remember that gyro Diffusal against Bristle. Weehaw Bristle.
Yep.
10k lead for EG. It feels like every time they fight, their lead goes up, but then it just remains at this point. So Talon doing a really good job of staying in this game despite losing these fights.
This could become dangerous though. Roche is close to spawning. This smoke from EG is actually really nice. If they've managed to set up some sort of vision here, if they find any pick, it could just give them the imminent Roche. Okay, it's 70 seconds away.
Did you realize they only have 4 kills? Does it feel like they only have 4 kills?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It really does. I don't remember the last time they killed anybody, so that's...
We did talk about how tanky EG is, and here comes the Rolling Thunder. They're able to get their 5th of the game, this time on to Leon. And Jabs, well, do they have a way to kill his Tombstone? Not really, but they still want to fight it, and apparently Swashbuckle will not hit Pakaz, so they'll have to reset, but here comes the arena again. Peki's going to take the brunt of the damage, and you can see the root applied to Makoto. They'll be able to dissimulate. Next to the Tombstone, though, as the illusions continue to pound on him. Trying to limp away right now. Looks like he will be okay, but you can see Jabs caught out initially. They don't have to be close enough to actually pursue any further. So after all that, it's just a 1-for-1, and supports being the 2 deaths.
Really important there for Panda that he got the Tombstone off. I think that fight could have got really good for Talon, but they got dissuaded by that vision advantage, and of course the zombies piling on them. They had to kind of back off and let it go. Despite getting a good jump, they were the ones with the good ward there, so they got to just immediately blast a lion, but couldn't really find any extras. Roche is now spawning. Seasmile will see it, and now the clock is ticking. 34 seconds.
Oh boy.
Should be fine if nobody interrupts.
So this will be the second Roche. They scanned the gate, I see. Yeah, will be a freebie.
What do you give this to? Pakaz again? Probably. I think they want to go high ground with this, but you could also, yeah, I think you give Pakaz Aegis and then give the cheese to Seasmile. Currently sitting on Whisper. I do want them to put this on the Underlord. He gets so much value out of this. He has insane EHP with the Shivas and... Shivas.
Yeah, the longer he stays alive, the more damage he's going to do thanks to his Atrophy aura.
Yep.
And then that's when the buildings really start.
I would at least like to see them take it out of the backpack. Surely that's not working. Just like, put it in instead of your wand if you want to keep it. There we go. Or instead of the bracer. All right, so they want it on Whisper. That's fine. It was either going to be him or the Underlord. Here comes Pakaz.
Yep, Jabs.
Try to slow him down again.
Kill the whole wave.
They're going to be spamming
goes to work. You can see Ollie trying to use his shard. Pretty underwhelming shard. It definitely has its use cases.
I'm actually surprised that wasn't in range to drain those Illus there. I thought it was, but maybe just outside.
Backdoor protection kicks in. They'll have to wait for this next wave, but they are smoked behind him, and I would assume they're looking for the jump. They actually popped the pipe, so they're definitely going to go in now.
Oh, they got the first hit heal here,
yeah. Makoto.
I'm kind of throwing it, though.
Holding the Medusa in place. And this pit is going to provide some cover for Pakaz. So drained of all his mana. Oh, man, he's getting really low. Obviously, still has the Aegis, but doesn't want to consume it yet.
Pass him the cheese.
Yeah, the cheese was passed, or was that the Lotus?
I think it was a Lotus only.
Jax uses his ult. They're going to be able to take out the Lion at the start of the fight again. Here comes the arena onto from Whisper, though. Ollie still alive somehow, trying to drain as much as he can, but the pit onto 3 heroes now, as Pakaz and company continuing to just right-click away. They're going to be able to take out Jabs in tow. 3 dead. Make it a 4th very shortly if they can find this PL. finally gets that Manta off, but 23 Savages cannot withstand this. And that's 4 dead for Talon, and that might just be game.
Yeah, this is at least 2 lanes. Underlord is going to push super fast here together with the Medusa. How much damage does T-Small have right now? Plus 162.
Yeah, not bad. Fortifications pop. This will slow it down a bit, but they know that these 2 cores will not be back for quite a while.
It's a little known fun fact about Underlord right now. With this 200 plus damage he has from Atrophy Aura, he has about the same damage as Void Spirit does on level 19 with 0 damage from Atrophy Aura.
Oh, that's very nice.
So,
being universal is a skill in and of itself, right? That's 2 lanes of racks.
It's 3.
And they will attempt to go for their 3rd.
They will succeed. PL will be too late, and without the Pango, they have nothing to stop Pakaz cleaning house here.
Has the refresher. Oh, backdoor protection. Okay, Cinderin kicks in again. Cinderin pulled the Cinderin.
Wait, the wave mid actually got close enough. They could have got Megas.
That seems kind of far away. From
you'd be surprised how far away it is, actually, that cutoff. But
I am surprised.
Yeah.
You just said I literally said I was surprised, and you said you would be surprised. Yes, that is correct, actually. I am surprised.
I like making correct statements.
So 1 range racks remains for Talon in this game number 1, where they've gotten 6 kills, which to me has felt like they've gotten more. But maybe it's just Lion that's been dying over and over and over.
Yes,
half the deaths. Half the deaths are on him.
Yeah. Whisper now rocking the refresher orb, so with the cheese, he's guaranteed to be able to use 2 ults. EKBs.
So was it a Lotus that was passed on then, I assume?
Yeah, it was the Healing Lotus. It was a pretty big one too. I think it was a...
Probably
just a greater, yeah.
Well, the Tormentor's available for EG to take if they want. Of course, the Aegis only has 1 minute, 10 seconds left on it. So they'll probably just go for the range racks. And
Here
Talon,
comes
I would
Pakaz.
assume, will try to defend here. Pakaz,
You think so?
I assume they will try to defend here. Rolling Thunder comes out. Here's the arena from Whisper. Looks like the Techies will be the first to fall in all likelihood. He's going for the 2nd arena here pretty soon. And there it is. They get the range racks as well. And that is mega creeps for EG. As Matthew was having a 1v1 battle against PL, and I guess technically gets the better of it as
When Matthew
the GGs come out.
When Matthew survives, you know it's over. All right, this fight we didn't kill Lion. Let's tap out. What a great game from EG. This was beautiful, Dota, through and through.
Yeah.
From the laning stage to the Roshans to the mid game, everything just came together beautifully.